Let's continue working with auto painting. This time we have a new image to work with. It's Skull Still Life. I have it here in my reference window. You can open the reference image the usual way and find it in your working files folder. I also have established that image as the clone source. And now I want to call your attention to 3 items in our AutoPaint custom palette: colored pencils, pastel tapered, and sponge soft. They are all part of the Smart Strokes category. And here's the entire category that you can take a look at and choose other variants if you wish. But I'd like to show you what you can do with colored pencils and the Smart Stroke painting setting in your auto painting panel. So far, we have used a variety of strokes from this list, and we have had access to some sliders here to change various things. But now when I click on Smart Stroke Painting, those options are no longer available. But let's see what we can do. So with colored pencils and Skull Still Life as the clone source and clone color, I am going to double-click on Auto Paint so we have more room to look at the results, and I will press play. Now what's happening is we have little dabs of colored pencil. The color is coming from the source image. What's smart about these strokes is that they are following the contours of items in the image. We are getting the edge of the skull developed, as are other parts of the bones. Similarly, the rose and the mannequin hand are being developed in an intelligent way. I think that's probably enough to demonstrate the Smart Stroke painting ability, so I will stop and undo that last set of strokes. Let's do the same thing with pastel tapered. And this time, I'm going to temporarily go to normal color so that I can fill this blank white canvas with black and show you, once we have clone color back again, the Skull Still Life is recreated on a dark surface. So we have pastel tapered, and I'll just double-click to make more space, press play. Now it's clear to see the white areas of the skull actually do have paint or pastel strokes applied to them. And you can also very clearly see that the edges of the skull and the other items in the image are being understood somehow and accommodated by the strokes. Stop that action and undo. And now I'm going to show you what happens when you add to Smart Stroke Painting Smart Stroke settings. Let's take a look at our choice here of colored pencils once again. Recall that the colored pencil Smart Stroke was a relatively small dab that was applied to the image. Now with Smart Settings, when I click play, you'll see these are fat dabs. These are big ones. And color and value is certainly being taken from the source image. As we watch this image develop, it's clear that these dabs are not only following the contours, but they are getting smaller as we go in order to get more detail. This is just the kind of approach that you would take if you were doing a traditional painting. You would begin with large areas of tone and color, and gradually, as you work the entire canvas at the same rate, you would use smaller strokes, smaller brushes to develop details. And so we have a Smart Stroke painting with smart settings. Press the stop button. Now I'm going to see what happens when I add a layer. So I have my Layers panel open, make a new layer, and now I'm going to change from the combination of Smart Stroke and Smart Settings by just unchecking Smart Settings, sticking with colored pencils, and now I know I'm going to get small dabs. Yes, I see the small dabs are coming in. They are following the contour of the skull, the flower, mannequin hand. I will create an interesting combination if I simply choose a different composite method once I have enough of these smart dabs applied. And that could be just about now. So I'll press the stop key. and then try a couple of alternative composites. What about colorize? Not so interesting. Let's try screen. Too light, all white. Let's try difference. And how about luminosity? Not bad. Luminosity is working, but I'm thinking overlay might also be interesting. So I can save this now as a RIF file, or I can collapse the layers. Maybe I'll even reduce the opacity of that second layer. Now I'm satisfied, so I can either save it as a RIF or drop the layer into the background and save it in any file format I wish. I invite you to experiment with Smart Stroke painting with or without smart settings.